Republicans now have their rationalization to gut Social Security. And Musk and Trump have been saying that Medicare and Medicaid are filled with waste, fraud, and abuse, and that's why they're going to cut, some 14 million people off Medicare, or Medicaid rather, and there could be a substantial cut as a consequence of this to Medicare. Meanwhile, numerous people, this is James Downey, opinion writer over on MSNBC right now, but this is a growing consensus across Democratic circles, is that Republicans now have their rationalization to gut Social Security. And it's waste, fraud, and abuse. This phrase, these three words, waste, fraud, and it's the rule of threes. I've talked about this before. The rule of threes, three things, whenever you have a list of three things, it sticks in your head longer than one or two or four. And it's how our brains are wired. And Musk and Trump have been saying that Medicare and Medicaid are filled with waste, fraud, and abuse, and that's why they're going to cut, some 14 million people off Medicare, or Medicaid rather, and there could be a substantial cut as a consequence of this to Medicare. So now you've got, and in fact, they're bragging about it. This is Senator Kevin Cramer of North Dakota. He says, how much waste, fraud, abuse is there in Medicare? Why don't we go after that? I think we should. Republican leader of the Senate Majority Leader John Thune, agreed, saying, quote, I think anything that is waste, fraud, and abuse are obviously open to discussions. And then Downey writes, if Republicans deem waste, fraud, and abuse sufficient cover for not just cuts to Medicaid, but for cuts to Medicare as well, what's to stop them from applying that to Social Security next? And it turns out they're doing that. They're actually doing that. The bottom line, Downey concluded, Republicans already have their excuses ready to go. To most Americans, Social Security and Medicare may be entitlements, but to Trump and GOP lawmakers, they're just waste, fraud, and abuse. This is pretty amazing stuff. This whole idea that they can apply this waste, fraud, and abuse thing to Social Security. I mean, it's just, as Downey said, what's to stop them from applying that to Social Security next? I see this coming. Don't you? I mean, now that they've got this phrase, for Reagan, it was, trickle down. If we give tax cuts to billionaires, it's going to stimulate the economy and trickle down to working people. Now, and that was a lie, of course, it's still a lie. Now the lie du jour for the GOP, because they have to have lies to promote their policies of enriching billionaires and corporations. Now their lie is all these social programs are riddled with waste, fraud, and abuse.